The Joburg Motor Show was officially opened by South African Trade and Industry Minister Rob Davies. A gala evening with all the big names in the automotive industry marked the start of 11 days of Southern Hemisphere's biggest motor show. NAMSA President David Powles reminded the industry of the prestige of this year's show. NAMSA is a major shareholder of the Joburg Motor Show.
This show, as you know, takes place under the accreditation of the International Organization of Vehicle Manufacturers as a world-ranked motor show. And it's one of only 4 motor shows in the Southern Hemisphere to enjoy this status and this world-class accreditation. And moreover, it's only one of 2 such events on the African continent.
In comparison to global averages, South Africa's motor industry is quite small. It contributes only a small percentage to the national GDP. However, plans are in place to double its contribution.
Responsible for about 6% of GDP and also responsible for around about 90,000 jobs and plus 200,000 in the whole retail side of the business as well. So it's very strategic and very important. We believe that this industry could actually create more jobs. And the ambition that we have as the government, but also the industry shares that, is that we want to move from 600,000 vehicles to 1.2 million vehicles manufactured in South Africa. Part of that is the Automotive Production Development Program.
The ambitious plan will see a drastic rise in the number of cars produced, over 1 million a year. Will this number be reached?
Well, it's going to be a challenge, but we think we can move there. We have to raise competitiveness. We have to do a number of things other than just the APDP with the industry. But I think we feel we can get there. It's an achievable target.
The Johannesburg International Motor Show is Africa's biggest and richest motor car event. It happens once every 2 years, and here we are at the Nasrec Center in the south of Johannesburg. 54,000 square meters of exhibition space, 200 car exhibitors, trucks, motorbikes, and everything motor. I mean, the motor enthusiast is spoiled for choice. Now, that's a lot of walking. Now, if you're like me, you'll take one of these. The venue at which the Joburg Motor Show is held once belonged to the Agricultural Society. It was taken over in 2002 by the Joburg Expo Center, who proceeded to transform the 100 square meter venue into a world-class establishment.
The 2010 Soccer World Cup that South Africa hosted allowed us as owners and gave us as owners of the venue a fantastic opportunity to upgrade this venue and bring it to international standards. We put of the business's money, we put over 36 million rand back into the facility to get it upgraded, to get the standards risen, to get the standard levels high, to bring it to international standards. And I must say, for the first 4 days of this particular show, the Joburg International Motor Show, the first 2 days, which were VIP and public, VIP and press and media days, and the next 2 days, the last 2 days, which were the consumer and the public days, we've only had great comments about how fantastic the showgrounds is looking from an international perspective. Joburg International Motor Show is rated amongst the top 5 in the world. I think what's important first is to have the right type of people, and we do believe we've got the right management in place. The people who manage the motor show and put the show together have been involved with the show for over 18 years. They've been in the exhibitions industry for over 30 years. And understand what's needed to be done to put a world-class quality show of this nature together.
As one can imagine, managing a show of this magnitude takes doing. The show director is a woman, a rarity in this testosterone-driven industry.
The logistics are enormous. It's a 10-day build-up. From the time we get access to the venue till the day we open, there's only 10 days. So all the pre-planning, all the measurements, all the pre-manufacturing, all the pre-logistics has to be spot on. That takes quite a number of months, and people don't come forth with information quite readily. So we do the same job over 10 times. We find everybody 10 times to drive it to a point where it could happen. But yes, you know, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to, and very satisfying to be able to put this together.
And as we walk towards the car, I'm sure you can see the colour, it's called diamond white.
After all is said and done, the motor show is an opportunity for the end user to get up close and personal with some of the most desirable brands on the market. It's no wonder that the floors are teeming with expert salespeople.
Well, a lot of customers are actually asking me about the spec of the vehicle, what are the different additions that you can add to it, what are the different engine derivatives, and finally price.
And that's where the brakes come on, isn't it?
Not really, because if you look at it, look, a C180 coupe comes in at $394, which is excellent value for money in a coupe range.
Right, here we are at the Lexus stand. Lexus is a particularly new brand in South Africa. It's been here only 5 years, and I'm standing here with Jeannie van Willig, and she's in the business of converting people from the more established brands to the Lexus brand. Jeannie, thank you very much for your time. What are some of the questions that people are asking of the Lexus brand? It's new in the country, and yet it's so luxurious.
Very much so, as you say, Lionel. We get a lot of questions on our entry brand level. That's a CT200H hybrid technology. So we get a lot of questions around those, and people wanting to know what the performance technology thereof is, and is it really a full hybrid? Then we have a lot of questions on the next level, the IS350 that we're launching in November. People are very interested in that and its performance aspects. And then, of course, we have a big saloon there at the back. That's our 600H, and the LFA is, of course, the star of the show.
This imposing truck is easy on the eye and comes with all the creature comforts of a modern vehicle. But there's more to the truck than meets the eye. It's actually manufactured in South Africa.
We're seeing tremendous growth throughout Asia Pacific and Africa for the auto industry. In fact, most people believe that more than half of the industry's growth this decade globally will come from Asia Pacific and Africa. Clearly, China is the dominant market in this part of the world when you talk about Asia Pacific and Africa, because it has 18 million units of sales. But we see growth potential in Africa over the time, the whole continent, India, ASEAN nations like Thailand, Indonesia. So tremendous growth. For Ford, we're in a situation where we're going to bring 50 new vehicles and powertrains to Asia Pacific and Africa in the next 4.5 years, by 2015. And we expect 60 to 70% of our global growth to come from this part of the world throughout this decade.
The motor show caters to the taste and appetite of all. From the super luxury to even some of the most exotic models on 4 wheels, it remains a must-see event on the calendar.
Hello everybody, my name is Asimo.
The Joburg Motor Show 2011 proved a definite winner. With all the rugby blues now a distant but painful memory, organizers had this to say to South Africa's men.
Well, with the Springboks not making it, I think retail therapy for the men is to get down to the motor show now.